Hey everyone, welcome back to my series. Today's video I'll be sharing with you one of my favorite highlighting products and how I use it to achieve a nice wet glowy complexion. For those of you new to my series, I basically post videos Monday to Friday, and each week is dedicated to a different theme. So this week I am focusing on beauty, next week I am focusing on fashion, the week after will be lifestyle, and the week after that will be business. The whole point of the series is to, of course, be social with each other, even if it's behind the camera, and it's to create a space for you guys where it can feel like we're in a, I guess, virtual social gathering where we can all be socialites and enjoy the fun of beauty, fashion, lifestyle, and anything else relating to my channel. So remember, grab your drink, grab your snack. I got my drink today. I actually have a nice little shake that I did. I wanted something different. I have been having one of these almost every day, and I will share my recipe if you guys like, but it's so good. But yeah, sit back, relax, and let's get started. So as you could have guessed from the title of the video, today I'll be talking about the Makeup Forever highlighting powder in the Pro Light Fusion shade. I haven't been using it, well, recently I've been using it a lot, but last year I didn't use it as much. I was switching up between a few other highlighting products that I have because I do like to try out and test out different products and see which ones I like. And this one is definitely one of my favorites. As you can see, it's a very bronze golden color, but it does have that beam which makes the face look bronzed and glowy. So this one is definitely one of my favorites because it also gives you like a wet effect. There's other highlighters out there that you put them on and it has a nice glow, but it just looks like a powdery glow. Of course, you can put on like a face mist or a setting spray, and it does help melt the particles into the skin just to give a more seamless look. But this one, it just instantly looks wet, which is why I didn't put any highlight on my face right now, because I really wanted to show you guys how it looks on the skin. Even though I did say these series videos wouldn't be like tutorials or in-depth reviews, I am more sharing with you my favorite products and of course giving you my insight as to why I love to use them. So good. So the type of brush I like to use for my cheeks is anything similar to this. So it's like a small dome-shaped brush. And I find that it's perfect because it's not too big, it's not too small, and it just gets in that area perfectly. So I'll just show you what I mean by it. I mean, some people use like flatter brushes, fan brushes. I personally, not too much of a fan of those. I prefer brushes like these because I feel like they just cover the areas that I need, and it also, you know, blends it nicely. So I'll just dip this here and use the mirror that comes with the highlight just to look at myself and apply it. So as you can see, you can already tell that nice glowy effect it has compared to the other side of my face, which is pretty flat. I mean, you don't have to wear highlight if you don't want to. You can have a nice makeup look without it, but I personally just love to glow. So as you noticed, I use more of like a dabbing motion. Sometimes I'll like kind of buff it out just so it blends, but I prefer to dab it and then lightly touch it, just because I don't want to be too rough, because then it's going to move the foundation and everything else I have going on underneath. And you don't need to put on a lot of product either with this one. It's not like you have to keep building up. I'm pretty sure you can build it up to something more intense, but I prefer something not as in your face, even though it does have a nice noticeable glow to it, and it also looks wet. So I like that wet effect that it has. It doesn't look like there's sparkle or glitter on my face. So now I'm just gonna put it on the other side of my cheek, and then I'll move on to my nose, my chin area, and my forehead. So something I like to do when I apply highlight, I like to puff up my cheeks, so I'll give like a slight smirk or smile just so my cheeks pop up and I know exactly where I want to place it. Some people mainly place the highlight right on this area, and they'll put it all the way to the top, right by their eyebrow, like where their eyebrow ends, like around this area here. But I don't like to drag it all the way to the top, unless, let's say, I have my hair up and I'm trying to create a really defined cheekbone. The highlight does help with that. But when my hair is down, I honestly just do it till probably around here. I don't go all the way up. I mainly focus the highlight around my cheeks here because it just gives it that extra lift, that extra healthy glow and complexion that I'm looking for. So for the forehead, I use the same brush and I just dab it over here. So here I try to go very lightly. I don't want it to be too over the top. I just want it to have a healthy, wet glow. And the reason why I apply it there is because you always want to apply highlight on the high points of the face. So it wouldn't make sense to apply the highlight on the center of the forehead, only because you don't really want to highlight that area. You know, it's gonna make you look like you have like a greasy, like popped up forehead. You just want to highlight the high points because those are the areas you want to have stand out, just to give you that extra youthful look. Now again, it's always personal preference. You don't need to wear highlight. I've heard some people say that when they use highlight, it actually ages them. They don't feel like they have a youthful glow. Maybe it's just that they're wearing the wrong product, or I guess it's just personal preference, right? I personally love how it looks on me. Again, it also depends on the product. You need to use the right product. If you use something that looks muddy on the face, maybe isn't the right tone for your skin complexion, then it can age you. But I guess it's just trial and error, and again, how comfortable you are. Also, depending on the highlight product, it will emphasize bumps or any skin textures, any skin textures that you have. It will emphasize it around the cheek area. Depending on the product that you use, I find that this one doesn't really emphasize any bumps. I typically have like a clear skin complexion. I do get some texture sometimes here and there. Really depends on my diet and what I eat, because I do notice that when I have a lot of dairy, I do get some bumps and some texture, but when I don't, it becomes clear. So I try to avoid dairy products. So moving on, now I will apply on the tip of my nose and on my chin. So the whole point of this is, again, you want to create an even complexion. If you have highlight here and on your forehead, this area can look pretty dull, and you just want to create something that looks even and complete. So I like highlighting my chin. Some people don't, because it makes they feel like it just looks like sweat on the chin, but I personally really like how it looks. I don't put much. I just dab a bit underneath the lip and then a bit on the tip of my nose. For that, I use a smaller flat brush, only because it fits perfectly in those areas. I don't want to use something fluffy because then it's just going to get all over the place, so I prefer something flat. And again, for this, I try to just tap it on. I don't want to rub much because then it's going to move around any products underneath. Some people like to highlight above the lip. I'm not a fan of that, depending on the look I'm going for, right? But generally, I don't do that. So as you can see, this highlight is gorgeous. It gives a nice glow to the skin, and you don't need to use much product either. So what I love about this is that it's more of like a sheen highlight. It doesn't have any glitter. It doesn't have any like sparkle glitter particles to it. It's more of a sheen, a nice sheen, and it glows beautifully. Again, it's like a nice bronze tint, and it just gives you like this golden, gorgeous golden highlight. For my complexion, I prefer something like this. Again, I've tried others that are more of like a lighter brown, like almost silvery tint, and it just looks too ashy, too muddy when I put it on my face. It's not flattering at all. It just looks like I have some silver, light champagne silver streak on my face, and it doesn't look good. I know some of the lighter colors might work with other complexions, but my complexion specifically, I always go for a highlight that looks like this. What I like about this is that it's pretty compact as well. The packaging isn't too heavy, so I can just throw this in my bag, touch up during the day, and I'm good to go. Something else, if you want the highlight to just beam that much more, you can always add setting spray on it. And not that I'm reviewing or talking about any setting sprays. This isn't a setting spray video, but any type of setting mist that you can use just to add an extra wetness to the face, especially in the areas that you highlight, that will just make it more pronounced. So even if you don't want to spray your whole face, you just want to focus on the areas that were highlighted, you can always cover the top, and then you can always like spray it, or your forehead you can spray, your chin you can spray, whatever you like, because some people just don't like spraying their whole face, especially with dewy mist, and it's gonna make your whole face look dewy, whereas you just want to focus that dewiness on the areas that you highlighted. The reason I say this is because, especially with dewy mists, if you spray it around your whole face, then your whole face is going to turn dewy, and then that can be a bit of a mess, especially on areas that were not highlighted. So you always want to cover up the rest of your face and just expose the areas that were highlighted, so your forehead, your cheeks, spray it in that area only, rather than going crazy and doing it everywhere. For something like this, I'll spray it around my whole face because it's not a dewy mist, it's just a setting mist, so I don't have a problem putting it all around, because then any powders that I have on my face will just melt into the skin, and because it's not going to make me look more dewy, it's just going to help everything mesh and blend together. That's why sorry, I don't have a problem doing it all over. Alright, so that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really love this highlight. If you're looking for a new highlight product, definitely give this one a try. It's so gorgeous. It's so soft to the touch. It blends beautifully. It feels like butter when you touch it, and it's just a gorgeous highlight. Again, it gives you that nice wet look, and it lasts on your face. Of course, unless I'm sweating, then that's a different story, but generally whenever I have somewhere to go, somewhere important, I always use my top foundation, my top primer, setting spray, and with this highlight, and my makeup generally lasts me all night if it is an evening event, or all day if it's a day event, so I don't have a problem with that. Of course, if I'm just throwing this on to go to the mall, I'm not too focused on my best foundation, my best primer, I'm just putting whatever on, so it might get messed up if it's a hot day and I'm running errands, but in general it does last a decent amount of time. Again, it blends beautifully, it's super soft, super smooth, and the color is just gorgeous. If you guys are interested in checking it out, I will put the link down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.